These are the best tips for grinding story mode. Let's talk about it. What's good, YouTube? NoGoodEman. I coach you today with the best tips for story mode optimization. So guys, now that I've finished all 10 chapters of hard mode, I want to give you guys some of my tips and tricks when it comes to defeating story mode, some optimization, some things that'll help you guys survive and even defeat mobs at a increased rate. Now, before we talk a single thing, make sure you leave a like on the video. As always, if you're new, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Turn on post notifications so you don't miss a live or an upload. Now, shout out the boy Gray because he taught me a lot of free game when it comes to playing in story mode. The first thing I do want to talk about is your potions is going to be super important, but there are drinks that will allow you guys to get potions back if you are defeating a lot of monsters. And in story mode, you're going to end up defeating a lot of monsters anyway. So one thing that is going to be super essential is going to be that protein drink. So if you drink this protein drink, you guys will have an ability to obtain a potion upon defeating a monster. Essentially what this means is, as you guys drink your protein drink, as you get damaged, whatever the case may be, if you're facing a lot of wave battles or a lot of wave monsters, you're just getting overwhelmed by mobs, as you defeat them, you guys will get the ability to get your potions back. But it does cap out at your current potential. I did get it to, I think, 5 potions at the time, and I currently only have 4 potions unlocked, so I used it once, but the usage count did not go down, so potentially it could be 5, but it doesn't go past 5. The max amount of potions you can carry in Overdrive is 5, so it doesn't go above that. But the ability to get your potions back is going to be very, very useful, especially if you guys are playing hard mode, extreme mode, or normal mode. Now, regardless, make sure you utilize that if you guys can. I think that the ability to get potions back makes that honestly one of the more crazier drinks that you guys want to use. What I did used to use was cafe latte, and that anytime you get enter a new stage, you get the HP recovery effect for 3 minutes. So 180 seconds. That one is pretty decent. Again, if you're not using protein drink, if you're not using cafe latte, you might want to use cider. If you guys are very good at deflecting and counterattacking your bosses, then you can utilize the increased damage dealt to stagger targets. One of those 3. I think one of those 3 is going to be the most ideal. Now, of course, if you are fending off, let's say, any type of specific boss that has a very significant and tough debuff, like think about Eager's the Red, right? He does bleed effects. So if you guys are losing a lot of HP via your bleed, you might want to bring just healthy veggie juice. If you're doing a, let's say, a Kasaka's or any type of poison-based boss, you might just want to bring antacid. Regardless, that is how you want to go about it. So there's a lot of things that you can combo up with. There are specific ones that I just wouldn't choose, but kind of those main 3 that I talked about down here, definitely protein drink. Again, I utilized this for the first time today in chapter 10, and I saw a way better survivability rate. And we even did the entire chapter all in one go, right? Didn't even die one time. So that honestly helped to run an insane amount, and that allowed us to unlock the newer game modes, the end game modes, Workshop Brilliant Light, Power of Destruction, and so on and so forth. Now, the next thing to talk about is going to be how do you guys want to be grinding for story mode. Now, of course, people want to just play story mode, but you guys need to be locked in with that world map. Now, we already dropped the beginner's guide, so I'm gonna try not to overlap when it comes to just blabbering about, hey, do this in world map, do this in world map. But again, guys, you want to be grinding out all your chapters. Now, of course, there are specific chapters, and we got to talk about this. There are specific chapters that you definitely want to be grinding, specific dungeons you want to be grinding. For your Sunjinu specifically, you guys need to be locking in with the 1-star dungeon break so you guys can get the spirit breath. So as you can see right here, I don't have it unlocked there. If we go 1 star, I already did it here, so it's not there. It's a first clear reward. So if you don't see the first clear reward at the top, it means you already cleared it. If we go back here, go 2 down, boom, there it is, spirit breath. This allows you to enhance your potions, get even more potions on your side and more potion health on your side. Anyways, what also helps with that is allocating your stats depending on if you're playing story mode or not. So if I look at my Sunjinu, I know I said that depending on your class, depending on your weapon, you want to go, let's say, agility, perception, and strength, let's say the assassin class. But I found that putting vitality in, especially for that story mode, a lot of wave battles, increase my survivability. The way I didn't die at all today in story mode was insane. I usually die at least 1 time. So I put a little bit of points in vitality, and vitality is going to be very good if you are facing, again, wave battles, a lot of stages, because this allows you guys to increase your potion recovery rate. So this will increase, again, your HP, your defense, but also it will allow you guys to get increased potion effects each time you pop a potion. So each potion is giving you an insane amount of HP back, more than a healer could do. So in that sense, definitely that's something to talk about. If we talk about team formations, when you get strong enough, I think your ideal lineup is going to be 2 healers and a tank. Again, this comes from the boy Gray, so shout out Gray. He was super helpful to the community in today's live stream, so big shout out to him, man, giving us all this free game. So 2 healers, 1 tank. I think this is going to be a very ideal lineup for your Sun Ji-Nu support characters. And as far as how you guys want to go about activating their support skills, you can just go into special skills and click this first one, support skill, uses condition taking heavy damage or instantly when the user's HP is 50% or lower. That's going to be means, and then I assume Lee Juhi is going to be pretty much the same. So taking heavy damage instantly when the user's match HP ratio is 50% or lower, they're going to activate automatically. And you can really do this for any support hunter that you are running. Let's say you don't have them, but you're wondering, hey, how do I activate my supports? For this one, we use the deflect combo, or when there are 3 or more normal monsters nearby, he's going to activate. So the kind of sucky thing in a Overdrive that differs from a Rise is that you can't choose when your support hunters do come onto the field, but regardless, you're going to have to work with the best things you have. Now, of course, in team formation, you got to pay attention. Make sure you're rocking your pet, just in case. Pets don't work a little bit too crazily, but anyways, as far as potions, one that I really like is Brigadurians. And now that I think about it, I think the reason that the count didn't go down when I was refilling my potions is because of this one. So when there's a potion used, there's a chance that consuming a potion will not decrease the number of potions user has. So imagine Brigadurians with your potions with that drink, the protein drink, right? You guys will be having an insane amount of potions on your side. So literally that's all going to be like this, plus Brigadurians as your potion enhancement is going to be super fire and allow you guys to survive a lot in the story mode. Now, of course, the last thing to talk about is going to be, how do I get strong enough for story mode? How do I grind enough for story mode? Again, that's going to be your world map. That's going to be your crafting. So make sure you're keyed in on your crafting. In your crafting, you want to get the best weapon possible. Again, if you're the assassin class, you're probably going to focus on your daggers. I'm hearing that the Rosin's Blade is also pretty good. I heard again about the Phoenix Soul as well. So just be in the know, man. You might want to join the community Discord in the Soul Loving Arise Overdrive. There's a bunch of helpful people in there. So if you're wondering what's the best this, what's the best that, you can of course turn to your community and they should be super helpful there. And then eventually, once I know a little bit more about the weapons and what each and every one does, we might even drop our own weapon video talking about each and every one and which ones you want to combo up with. Now, the final tip I'm going to have is going to be in that skill tree. I already talked about this before, but in your skill tree, make sure in your physique class that you have each and every one of these unlocked. This is going to be the final facet to allow you guys to have as much survivability. So once you guys have all your skills unlocked, it'll increase your survivability. So let's say you take a lot more damage and you're like, hey man, I just keep on dying. You might want to increase either your defense, you might want to increase your HP, you might decrease your damage taken. So make sure you guys are farming these skill scrolls. It might seem like these skill scrolls are hard to get, but again, the best place you want to get these skill scrolls, as I got a lot myself, I'm going to definitely put that on in a second. The best place to get these skill scrolls is going to be, again, in your world map. So a lot of what you do is going to revolve around the world map. Even main story is dependent on the world map. So make sure you're tuned in. I think that the best ways to grind those is going to be in specific missions of dungeon breaks or just regular gates. If you look right here at tier 5, we get this. So boom, there's one right there. It's going to drop only 1 though. So that's kind of like a meh. And then usually around either 1 star or a 2 star, or I believe 5 star is when you guys get it. And then past that, it really doesn't drop as often. And again, that's a first clear reward. So you can only do that 1 time, right? So, and here it is, boom. This one's giving me a skill scroll 3. If we go ahead and just look at another one, what happens? Skill scroll 2. So there's basically every type of skill scroll that you can use to enhance your Sun Ji-Nu, and each and every one of these gates is going to be dependent on the difficulty that you do choose though. So keep an eye out for that. And then again, dungeon breaks is going to be super good for getting that spirit breath. So all of that should allow you guys to help you out in Soul Loving Arise Overdrive, helping your story mode progressions, because you think you can just get in and just do straight story, but that's not going to be the case, man. You're going to have to grind, you're going to have to put in some hours. But what do you guys think of the story mode for Soul Loving Arise Overdrive? Go ahead and leave your thoughts, theories, and comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications with that. I'll see you guys in the next one. Y'all take care. Peace.